So I've stepped out early in the morning on 9th March 2024. That's how I look. Oh, does the lens do justice to my look? I don't know. So I've stepped out for a and while I walk, I'm going to talk about the biggest issue in my life at this point, my office complex and the parking issues and things like that. The builder, the so-called chairman and so-called secretary, and the illegal, or let's say non-lawful stuff going on over there. You see that dog? He's a friend. He knows me. He might get up. He might get up. Oh, he doesn't. He looks at me. He doesn't get up. I'll have to pat them. Hold on till I pet them. Yes, boy. And this guy also knows me, see? Yeah. They both know me and they are never satisfied with my patting. You see? This guy's gotten up and he wants some more. Okay, but I got to move and I got to talk about my office complex and the issues over there. Let me start this by this thing. What do they say? Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. I've been ignorant. You bet, I've been ignorant. And am I not making these videos because I've been ignorant? I mean, I've had to make these videos because I've been ignorant. And ignorant for how long? For almost 11 years? 11 years, perhaps a little more than that. Yeah, I've been ignorant of the law. But was my builder ignorant of the law? The guy has made so many buildings in our area. Residential complexes, commercial complexes, the Sheladias. Were they ignorant? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yes, anybody can be ignorant of law. Anybody can be ignorant. I was ignorant. Actually, there are 4 possibilities. The seller is ignorant of the law. The buyer is also ignorant of the law. The seller is ignorant of the law and the buyer is not ignorant of the law. And the seller is not ignorant of the law, but the buyer is ignorant of the law. And the buyer and seller both are not ignorant of the law. That makes things easy when both are not ignorant of the law. In any case, I've been ignorant of the law, and let us for once assume that the builder was also ignorant of the law. So, the property, which is my office, was sold to me in 2011, which is when the building really came up and the occupancy was given to the buyers. So, let's say my father, who actually purchased that property, was ignorant of the law. And he entered into a contract, fair, and he signed the papers and got the property. Yeah. All right. Up till then, it's all fine. Nothing wrong. But my father shouldn't have been ignorant of the law. He should have known. He should have read the contract papers. And after reading the contract papers, he should have gone to the right kind of lawyer who actually knows the law. Coming to lawyers, actually. So when you sign these contracts and when you are expected to go to the lawyers to ratify these contracts, you know what's amazing? Sometimes even the lawyers are ignorant of the law. Would you believe that? And when they are ignorant, what are you supposed to do? They ratify a badly written or a wrongly written contract. What are you supposed to do? By the way, the builder might have gotten the contract drafted by his lawyer, isn't it? He gives the papers to all of us. So wouldn't that lawyer know what's happening? Wouldn't the lawyer know what is according to law, what is according to rules, regulations, what is allowed in a contract, what is not allowed in a contract, what is illegal, what is not illegal? Would he know or would he not know? Was the lawyer complicit with the builder in writing a contract like that? It's amazing. Once you think about it, it just feels amazing and impossible that they wouldn't know. And yet, for once, let's assume that the lawyer working for the builder or working with the builder and the builder himself, both are ignorant of the law. Right. So that was 2011. At that point in time, both were ignorant. Fair. So after 2011, the builder made more buildings, more complexes, more residential, commercial complexes, both, or whatever else, that being his business. Would he not have made more contracts, or he would make all of this in ignorance of the law? He would be ignorant and would be making all kinds of things, writing all kinds of contracts. I don't believe that. So let's assume that in 2011, this guy was ignorant of the law. After that, almost 13 years have passed by. It's 2024. Would he not have known that there was something wrong in the contracts that he signed with all of us, the members to whom he sold his property in this office complex, the complex that I'm talking about? I'm pretty sure in 13 years' time, there must be many moments where he became completely aware. If we assume that he wasn't aware earlier, but in the last 13 years, there may be many, many moments in which he would be completely aware of all the wrong things or things that don't follow the law and are written and included in the contract. So, let's also assume that he came to know about these things in the last 13 years. What did he do? As a good seller, you rickshaw, yeah. As a seller, what are you supposed to do? As a seller, what are you supposed to do when you come to know that there is something wrong? So I have an example over here. On many occasions, automobile companies especially come to know that there was some manufacturing issue or manufacturing defect in their vehicles, the cars, two-wheelers or whatever they make, and that could put the drivers or riders in trouble. So what do? Do they sit quiet? They recall the vehicles, don't they? They correct the issue. They correct the manufacturing defect, don't they? They make sure that the rider's safety or driver's safety is not compromised. They make sure that the quality is not compromised. They make sure that their product delivers and they themselves deliver what they are supposed to. So if the builder has, or if the builder came to know about this issue, did he do anything? He did not. Until I raised. Of course, even when I raised, everybody has turned deaf. They don't seem to hear what I'm talking about. They don't seem to hear what points I'm raising with them. They do not bother. They simply ignore it. They simply tell me, this is not possible. Nothing can be done about this. But is that how complex, which has members of all kinds, with all kinds of businesses, is that how a complex runs? Is that how it should be? Can it be better? Does it take climbing Mount Everest to sort this out? Does it take 10 years, 15 years to sort this out? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This is cheating. This is fraud. This is stealing. And yes, everyone has his or her interests. But you can't curtail others' interests. You cannot suppress others' interests. You cannot encroach upon others' interests, others' property, or even the common property. Parking space is about common property. You cannot abuse common property. So, even if I assume that the builder was ignorant of the law at the time we entered into a contract, 13 years have passed by. I have made them aware. Am I supposed to interpret the law and tell them what went wrong? Am I not supposed to interpret law? Is a common person, is a property owner not supposed to interpret the law and share with these guys? Should we be doing that or not? We didn't do it 11 years back, but we did it later on, when we understood what was happening, when our interests were getting compromised. Does everything have to be settled only in court? Does everything have to be interpreted and proved only in court? Is there no reasonability? Is there no consideration for fellow members, fellow property owners? This is amazing. This is amazing. And these guys take advantage of the fact that it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time and effort to go to the courts and prove all kinds of points. How do we trust the lawyers? How do we trust the lawyers? If they could write such contracts which are patently wrong, which do not follow the rules and regulations set down by the government, Can those lawyers be trusted? What's going on? So the builder, the chairman, the secretary, all of them seem to be taking advantage of this particular fact. I do not know what's the motivation behind all this. At least for the secretary, I cannot figure. I can figure it for the builder. He gets some more money. He's already a very rich guy. He gets some more money, becomes richer, and therefore he does this. Why does the chairman do that? The chairman is the biggest property owner. The chairman is the biggest property owner, or arguably the biggest property owner in our office complex. He runs a tuition class, and you know what's the state of tuition classes in India? Kids who join these tuition classes are crammed into the classrooms like fish in a basket. So huge number of students almost every single day attending these classes. They might not be of legal age to drive these cars or two-wheelers, but many of them get these two-wheelers, hundreds of them perhaps, and park it in our complex, morning till evening. Nobody can say a thing. And that helps the chairman. That helps his business. Other members can't park, that's all right, but his students get to park. And that helps his business. And therefore, he continues to not look into it. He continues to say that nothing can be done about this. He's not even read the papers, I can tell you that. He's not read the papers. He's not read the contract papers either. And if he has read, then he's feigning ignorance. He is pretending. He knows he'll be caught if he admits that he has read the papers. The papers clearly say that visitors should be requested to park their vehicles outside, and members have to ensure that. That is written. I'm not quoting that verbatim, but that's the meaning. That is written over there. So if it is written, and if he has read, he would be caught if he admits that he has read. For 13 years, this has gone on. Members like me kept on adjusting. I kept thinking personally that, perhaps that's how things happen. Perhaps you have to keep on adjusting for every single thing. On a couple of occasions, my motorcycle, which I normally drive on a day-to-day basis, and I park in my complex or around my complex, twice there have been attempts to kind of steal it. I found the locks broken. On numerous occasions, it has gotten damaged here or there, minor damages. Every time I've had to get it repaired. Why? So these guys will not think. These guys will not think about other members. I understand their interests, but they cannot infringe on my interests. By the way, In such a long video, why have I not talked about the big illegal thing included in our contracts? Why have I not done that? Okay, let me do that now. Yeah. So you know what the builder did? In the first point, or I think is it the second point? Yeah, in the first or the first 2 points, the builder introduces a body that is illegal right from the beginning. He makes us all property owners a member of the body which is illegal to start with. That's right. So typically you form a cooperative society. There are some other forms of making a corporate body or a body out of a group of people residing in the same complex or working in the same complex. But typically you make a cooperative body as per law. Law has given provisions to do that. What has he done? He has applied a body, okay, the law for which was scrapped in the year 2006. So our building was given to us in 2011. It was constructed much later, after 2006. It was given to us, our possession. We were given possession of the property in 2011. And the law based on which he has created the body for the management of this building, to look after this building, to manage the affairs of this building, that law was scrapped in 2006 for reasons. And he applied it to our office complex, a brand new office complex. Imagine. I've studied, it's called non-trading corporation, the kind of body that comes from a scrapped law of 2006. I've studied what used to happen during earlier times when it was considered a legal body. It was misused. It was misused by so many builders. And there were good reasons to scrap it. And so the government scrapped it. And this guy goes ahead in 2011 and based on a scrapped law installs a corporate body in 2011. Imagine. Would he not know after 2011, in 13 years of his building business, would he not know that this is not doable and this should not be done? Did his lawyer not tell him? And if he knew, shouldn't he have corrected it? As a genuine seller, as a builder of reputation, mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. But after you come to know about the mistakes, shouldn't you be correcting them? Shouldn't it have been his responsibility? Is it not his responsibility even now to correct such a thing? Because of his mistake, quite a few members have suffered. How will those members be compensated? How will those members be compensated? Quantifications in such matters are difficult, but will these members be compensated for whatever loss of business or whatever inconveniences they've faced for the last 13 years since 2011? Some may have bought the property a little later, so yeah, depending on their individual cases. Will they be compensated? Should they be compensated? Shouldn't they be compensated? It's quite amazing. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse, but it cuts both ways. It works on the seller also, not just on the buyer. Buyer should be aware, sure, but so should seller. I'm gonna stop here. This has been a really long video. I'm in the 25th minute. But I could speak so much and put my thoughts into words during these 25 minutes. I thought I wouldn't be able to do that, but I could, and that's nice. 25 minutes is a long time on YouTube. Will you watch this? Will you stay with the argument? Or have you stayed in the argument so far? If you're in the 25th minute, I'm pretty sure that you have understood my concern and my argument and whatever there is. There's more to this. I'll be talking about this again, perhaps on another walk. See you and have a good day.